Hello everyone, good morning and happy Sunday to you all. Hopefully this is going to work, she says, because I am recording this early for you, as I think I mentioned before, as I won't be around on Sunday morning when you're watching it, but hopefully this should all be working okay for you. I'm going to make a card style that we've used before, but this time I'm going to do it very slightly differently, a slightly different size, and also using a couple of new dies. So we've got the Wings of Wonder collection. This is by Jamie Rogers, and this is the Grand Butterfly. Love my butterflies. Sorry, had to be a butterfly. Also using the Shadowed Sentiment by Sue Wilson, Always and Forever, which we had a little sneak peek of last week. And I'm going to be also using the embossing folder that came out this week. And this is the butterfly one from Crisscross. So hopefully there are still a few more left if you would like any of those added to your order. But this is what we're going to be using today. So the colours that I am using, already cut a little bit out there. The colours that I'm using are Azalea Pink and Magnolia Pink? Yeah, Azalea and Magnolia. Unfortunately, neither of which are available anymore, but I rather like the colours, so I thought that's what we go with. So we also have a card base, which was a 6x6. Now, as you probably know, 6x6s are not actually 6x6. And therefore they're about 14.5. Now I can't centimetres. I can't be doing with working out centimetres and inches all the time. I think I did exceptionally well last week, but this time I'm just going to be doing it in centimetres. And because of that, I have trimmed off a fraction of it so that when I put that up to my, you can't see that down here, when I put this up to my measure, this is now 14 centimetres by 14 centimetres, because I did feel that that was an easier way to do things, because we have to do a little bit of measurement and mark things in half and things like that. So subsequently, that is what we're going to do to start off with. So I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to make a mark. So I've got my top fold up the top here, and I'm going to put this into the corner so that's all nice and straight at 14 by 14. I'm going to make a mark on the front of the card down the bottom at 7 centimetres. That's halfway from either side. Then I'm going to take a ruler and I'm going to mark, let's close it up, it's easier for you to see. I'm going to draw a line from the folded edge, which is this one here, from that corner where the fold is down to the center piece, which is here. So I'm going to place my ruler right onto that corner piece there, and then this one I'm going to move over so that it is on that line that we've just made. Just move that one over a fraction again and draw down there, and then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to do exactly the same. So again, top folded edges along here, and I'm going to take a measure from that corner right down to this point here, which was again the halfway point. I'm just going to move that over. Okay, so you've now got that measure on there. Then I'm going to bring in my guillotine. I prefer to use the guillotine if I can, but you can only really just about do it on this size, otherwise it gets a bit too dicey. So I'm going to put that straight line along my cutting line here and cut, and then I'm going to turn it round. I'm going to do exactly the same again, cutting line on that line, and I'm going to cut that down so that that's absolutely on that line. And now I've got two pieces, and I've got that diamond fold. Now we've done the diamond fold before, but this time I'm going to do it just slightly differently, because this time I want to hide my diamonds behind my page like that. Got to get them right. I'm going to hide them behind. You won't be able to see them very well here, but in a minute you will. And that the fold was going to be on top of that. All will be revealed very, very shortly. So, not quite sure if this will do it. Probably won't. Just wanted to rub off those pencil marks, otherwise I can see them getting everywhere. So let's just, I can hardly see it anyway. I just want to rub off those marks. Now, we need to cut some pieces out. So I have already cut out for the back, for the inside piece, a piece of azalea, which was 13.5 centimetres square. And then I've taken another piece of the magnolia, and that is 13 by 13. So 13.5 by 13.5. This one is 13 by 13. I'm going to pop that straight into my embossing folder and just run that through. Now I thought because I was using butterflies, the folder made a good choice. So hopefully you can see that there. So I'm just going to run that through. That will give me a nice background for my cards here without being too sort of flat nor too in your face, is the theory on that one. Hopefully you'll be able to see that if we now pop that onto there, that gives you a really nice finish. So let's just get the right one and pop that into place already. So this is with the card opened. Oops, don't want quite so much on there, do we? And this is therefore for the sort of inside of the card, but you are going to be able to see it from the outside. So it sort of makes a reason to put the embossed panel on there, I felt. Make sure I've got my butterflies up the right way. And then pop that along, which gives you just that little border all the way around. Now, we have the measurements for this piece, but when we're going to do our front bit here, they have to be very slightly different, because if they're not, they end up with being too big. So if we cut them out the same size as we did for this one, we would end up with not the right measurements. And so we need to bring in the first layer, which was our azalea. So that's the darker colour. And this piece is going to be 13 centimetres by 13. So 13 by 13. And then our magnolia pink, which is this next layer down, is going to be 12 by 12. So quite a bit different, because one has to think about that, and I've done the thinking for you, so you don't have to. Now, however, what we do have to do is measure this as well. So I'm going to push that up there. So we need to do the same again. So we're going to put that into our place, into the corner. I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark half of 13, which is 6.5, and I'm going to put a little mark. Let's check that I've got that. Yeah, I'm going to put a little mark just about there. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in my ruler and I'm going to do the same again. So I know you can't see this very easily. So that is my mark, and I'm going to go from the top corner here, so you can see it, the top corner from there to there, and then again turn it round, and from that top corner again down to that piece there. Let's just line them up, and then before we put all that away, I'm going to pop this into the corner here. This one measured 12 by 12. Half of 12 is 6. So I'm going to make a little mark there, and we're going to do exactly the same on the opposite corners. We're going to go from the top corner diagonally down to this centre piece. Okay, just about there. And then this side. from that other top corner down to that piece there. Okay, so that's all your measuring done. Now, we'll need these scraps for butterflies and sentiments, so we'll keep them to one side, and we'll just move this so that we will cut out these pieces as well. So we're going to cut out along that straight line there. It is a little bit difficult to see on this colour, I must admit. Hopefully we all shall be all right. Let's do that one the other way, it's easier to hold. So again, from this corner to the mark point, making sure that the points are on the actual cutting piece, and we need those, all these bits, so none of that is waste. And then you can see this one easier. We're going to just cut that down there, turn it round because it's easier, and again on that cutting line. Now I'm keeping these plain. I'm not going to actually emboss these, but you could, and of course this particular layer you could do any colour, any combination. Got that all off of there, and let's just do a quick one on here as well, just removing this pencil line there, just so that it doesn't, well, knowing me, get a little bit of a black splodge on it, because that's the sort of thing I'm likely to do. Okay, so just bring on all these pieces. So we've got our front piece here, and that piece is going to fit into our front piece here. Okay, and then the magnolia will go into there like that. So we can pop that into place. So if you went along with the measurements that we had for the bottom, which I've done, and I've made the mistake for you, not today, but learnt in the past, it does need to be a whole centimetre smaller because you've got the 3 sizes. It's all a bit of a mathematical challenge. And I was challenged, I can tell you. But I sorted it out so that you don't have to. You just need to do as I say. No, not really. It's just that it makes life easier to do it like that. So that's our middle piece there. Now we will bring over our flags around that way. So we need to then put our pieces here on first. Oops. Be careful that we take it into those very corners, otherwise we'll find that if there's no glue on the corners they will lift up, which we don't want that to happen. So just slide that into place, and then this one on top. So just sort of run the glue into those corners there, and then this one onto here. Oh, put a little bit too much glue on there because it's squirting out. Leave that for a second and just do this one. You can see what we are doing. Sorry, you were a bit out of shot there, weren't you? Just take that into the corners to be sure that that's going to go down. That one onto there. I like these 2 colours because they contrast well, but if you look over onto the card stock selection where we've got the essential card, you've also got colours that go together well there. The 2 greens, the 2 yellows, the brights and that sort of thing. We've also got a new selection over there of the black card and the basic grey, which is again a lovely combination, not necessarily for this card today, but you have got that choice there now. And there are more colours coming in the future. So now the idea with this card is that we crisscross our pieces. Now we can crisscross them like that, but that's no good. It's that way around. That's it. So the crucial bit is that we need to get them so they're going to stay in place. So we need to glue them in two different places. So one is that we need to glue them together with each other, but also we need to glue them onto the back of our card, which is here. So first of all, we need to make sure that they are in the correct position. And by that, I want to have glue all over my fingers. This point and that point need to be right on the edges of our card, and they're not quite. So I'm going to bring that down so that they are. Okay, and then this one is going to go exactly in the same place. And if you make sure that your points are actually resting on the card edge, they can't fail to be in the right place. So when you see that that is crossed like that, you can see that there's only a small area behind here that's going to need the glue on. All right, so going to just put a little bit glue onto there and then carefully put that back into place, making sure again that I've got these corners, points onto the edges, and I can press down, making sure that my points are not going to be over the fold there. So just hold that into place. If you don't put your edges within the card, if you see what I mean, they're within the card piece here, then the problem will come that when you want to then put them in the envelope. Now, as I said, we did cut that down very slightly, but it still fits easily into the envelope that it came with. And if we don't do that, they will stick out of over the edge, and then you've got to upgrade your card, your envelope size, and it won't be quite the right size, and it's all just a bit of a disaster. So we don't want to do that. So when I then bring that down, we want to now make sure that our card is going to have M for Maximum Crafts down the bottom. Okay, so that's what it should look like. M for Maximum Crafts down the bottom. And so if we hold that there, if I then put glue onto this bit and that bit, again right up to the top, just bring it down a bit and do a little bit more there. So just about there, and then whoops, bring that down and then just press down to firmly adhere all of that. I'm just going to keep a bit of pressure on there for a second, and that will then be in place. So that, and as you can see, you've still got a bit of the butterflies, hopefully you can see. Got a bit of the butterflies showing from behind, but when your card stands up, you can't see it at all. It's standing up like that. Okay, so you're using the points where we have the M for Maximum Crafts, you're using the points down the bottom to keep that upright. So I simply want to decorate it by using the two dies that I've chosen today. So I've got my beautiful butterfly, and I'm going to cut him from the darker colours from the azalea. So I'm going to pop that in place there. Now the dies, the cutouts here, I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with this, because you've got backgrounds and you've got the words to go on the front. I'll go with cutting the backgrounds out from this piece as well, I think, but I might change my mind. So I'm going to adhere all of those and cut those, pop those into place. And I'm going to run that through my machine. Oops, crashed my wallet. And then, not quite sure whether I'm going to cut these words out from white card or the azalea. We'll see. And because I'm doing this without you actually being here, you're all going to be screaming, no, don't do that, don't do that. I won't be able to hear you. So I'm going to have to make my own mind up for this one. So that's my backings. So I'll pop them there. Now, I've got a piece of, if I can grab hold of it, sorry. I've got a piece of white card. And I'm going to put my two words, which is always and forever. I'm going to pop them in. And I think that probably will be right to do that. But we'll see. You can see there's a huge amount of detail on this butterfly, and it's quite a nice size. I cut that out from coconut white so that it's not in your face white, and just poke that through. Now it says always and the and is actually still joined, which is quite nice. And I'm kind of thinking that although it is quite a contrast, the reason why I've chosen it is because we've got white. The card blank itself is white. So it's beautiful, isn't it? So yeah, I think that will work actually. So let's take some of the pieces out of here. Now, lots of bits, unfortunately. Lots of bits to come out. Very ornate butterfly. What I should have done really was, well, it just all fell out, but otherwise I could have got my brush and just brushed it through. Oh, a couple there I missed. That, and then on the other side, just do it like that. As I said, it's just the one die. It's just a very pretty ornate die. Grand butterflies is what it's called, and I think it is rather grand. And for a change, I'm not using a butterfly to hide something, because that's what I usually do. Make a mess and then find, oh, we'll pop a little butterfly there then. And I don't suppose I'm the only one that does that. So as you can see, still got my Pete the Cat. Well, I'll have them for a little while, to be honest. Let's just hope that they've gone down well. Hey. Oh. So now you can see that in all its glory. So let's just scoop this out of the way and pop some of these things together. So I'm going to put some of my fine line glue onto the back of my word forever. And as I said, if I hadn't got a white card blank, I don't know that I would be right putting this word on in white, but it kind of follows through quite nicely. So hence that's what we're doing. That's just lays on there. Fits in nicely. And then this little one onto here. And what I have got to do is work out, I think it goes that way. Yeah. So let's just pop a little bit of glue. To there. Ooh, I can't talk when I'm doing that. And then just put that onto here. I have got to wiggle the letters around a little bit to be on this one, because I pulled it a bit when I was taking it out. So there you can see always and forever, and our beautiful butterfly is just going to go onto the centre. You can see that he's got quite a sturdy body there. So I'm just going to do a little bit of manoeuvring with his wings. I've done it out of this card, which is a 240, I think, GSM, so it's quite a sturdy one. But you can see that this one, which I cut out earlier from Gold Mirror, which is a thicker card, about a 300, still cuts out beautifully. So it works out very well. So I'm just going to now place where I want these to go. So I think that has got to go around about there, and my lovely butterfly about there. Got to have a bit of foam though. I want to put these up slightly. So a little bit of foam on the back. I think I can just about get away with it without trimming it. Yeah. So this is the 2mm. Oh, no, end of the line for that one. Get the other piece out. So it's 2mm thick for the foam. I'll just put that into the centre. With. Come on. Little dab of glue there and there. Now, let's put in this one first, I think. So we put that one down there. And that one then slots, sort of slots, into there so that that all flows together. And then just a little bit of glue onto just his body. Possibly onto the antenna as well. And before I do that up, I just want to pop the lid back onto that one. I need to do it to the other one as well. But we'll do that in a second because I don't know what I've done with that already. Oh, goodness. So I have measured up. I have just pushed up the wings so that they are uppermost, and I'm just going to put him there. And when I sit him down, I'm just going to use my nails or a pokey tool or something just to press the bits where I've put the glue on, which was on those antennae, and then just on his body. Just to hold that in place. Okay, so there you go. There is our diamond pointed card again. Much smaller version than we've done before. So this one is only a 14 centimetre square one. And as I said, although this was trimmed down, I feel that unless you've, I mean, as we know, 6x6 cards are not true 6x6 cards. So it's easier for me to trim this down to an even number, so 14 centimetres by 14, instead of working with 14.5 when we need to find the middle point, because the middle point then would be something like 7.2.5. And that's like talking about 1/16, isn't it? Let's make life easier for yourself. And then when you've got your card blank, your envelope rather, it will still fit easily within that. It'll be virtually, and that lies virtually completely flat, but a stunning card that then sits. Wish you could see what it looks like then, but it you get the impression, don't you, that it sits there like that. So there you go. There's today's card. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that the weather is good where you are and you're not snowed in at the very least. I hope that we're not going to be snowed in, but we are going to Wales. So that's where I'll be, all being well. I'll be not snowed in, and I'll be back with you on Wednesday evening this week, which is the, oh goodness, what is the date? The 15th. And I'll be with you at 6 o'clock. I had to think about that. Yes, yeah, because there's all the different shows and everything. Yeah, I will be back with you at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. Okay, so till then, thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Oh, and anything that you see is available on the MaximumCraft.com website. And don't forget, tick that box if you've liked today. Thanks very much. Bye.